This episode of the Community Workbench podcast is proudly sponsored by yours truly, Matt Norn of Remax Bell Park Realty. For all of your real estate needs, residential and commercial, call me 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. Who's ready for the number one podcast in my basement? Welcome to the Community Workbench podcast. I'm Matt Norn, and this is the sharpest cotton ball.
You're right. You can't read.
I can't read. Cotton ball in the bag. Kyle Morrissey. Every week we bring you small businesses, entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and whoever we feel like talking to. And today we have the pleasure of speaking with Regan and Brittany of the Posh Potty. If you need a Posh Potty, call 860-310-8676. Just want to get that out there right away. That's like
there you go.
Prime real estate.
Oh, my phone's going off. Here we go.
Wow. It's a community workbench impact.
Awesome. Coming back on next week. Free advertising at its best.
So, ladies, how are you tonight?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. All right. Well, so I've been using the term serial entrepreneur, and that because we've known each other for pretty much since I started real estate. So.
Oh, really? That's when you started? What year?
I don't know what year we did business, but I'm in my 7th year. So
we did that deal in 2020. It was COVID.
Oh, so I was a couple of years in.
Yeah, you were a couple of years in.
Yeah.
So we're talking about that Gold Street deal.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's your favorite?
That's my favorite, yeah. I remember sitting on the couch calling you. She was away up in New Hampshire.
Lift up her microphone a little bit there.
She was away in New Hampshire, and it came up, right?
Yeah.
And I called you right away. I said, do you remember what I said to you?
Something like, I live right down the street. Can I walk over and see it?
I said that, and I said, what's wrong with it? It was 155, and I'm like, a twoplex with a 3-bed, 3 and a 3, and I was like, there's got to be something wrong
I think
with
we
this.
landed on 155. I don't think I listed it at that. But
you liked that. Well, yeah, because we were paying cash.
But there was one side that was in really good condition, and then there was a side that was not in great condition.
Yeah, I think did I walk down? No, I think you had something going on, so you met me the next day.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yep.
We met up.
Yeah, so that was like not my first deal, but I was like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with it. Once we eventually
we got pictures of that. We
Yeah.
got pictures.
We can show you those.
And correct me if I'm wrong. The tenants that you inherited are not there anymore.
Correct.
They've moved on.
That would be
Okay.
the side we did not see inherited.
That you never saw. That your brother never saw.
That we had to go
Nobody saw.
remodel. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
good
saw it
times.
from a distance. But
Good times.
yeah, it's actually we have pictures of it now. It's a beautiful apartment, both sides now.
Nice. Well, let's talk about the Posh Potty. That's basically a new startup for you guys, right?
Correct. It is. We started it on September 1st.
So everything that comes with a new business, jitters, panic,
Stress, sleepless nights.
logistics.
Yeah, it's like anything, right?
Yeah.
You're making more mistakes than you're succeeding on a daily basis, and that's just how it is. Luckily, my father's not here, but he's the mastermind carpenter on this whole thing, so which is normal for everything that we do. So we have all these ideas and whatever, and he pretty much brings a lot of things to fruition, and we're his gophers and his,
Yeah, the condo.
minions. We're like minions.
The condo that he helped you guys flip was just amazing.
Yeah.
It's super beautiful.
Yep.
That was pretty cool to see.
He's very talented, yes. So I just stand there and he goes, "Oh, where's my pencil? Where's my this? Hand me that. Where's this?" And I just run around.
Oh, you're the
hand
tool
him
belt.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The best is, "Where's the knife?" I'm like, "It's right there in your pocket, like right there." So he's always losing stuff. So you could have like 2 of everything. So we have 2 drills, 2 knives, 60 pencils. Like he loses everything, but it's really not lost. It's So I just run around and like hand him stuff. That's pretty much yeah.
I mean, we were sitting outside one day. We had just gone to a wedding. We were talking about this before we were airing. And we were like, oh, God, those they call them suites, right? Those those like trailer potties. What? This really nice wedding we're at, and all these like older women were having like trouble getting up the stairs. Their long dresses, it was too steep. They're older, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we've had a couple, you know, different occasions or whatever, and there's no railing. There's no railing on the sides of those, because they're only like 2 steps. Like you don't have to have a railing, whatever. And we're like, oh man, you know, this might be a good idea.
Yeah.
We've seen them before other places, and whatever. And so we were like, so we ran the numbers. How much would a trailer be? How much would this be? How much would, how much to build one? We took like a rough guess and whatever. I mean, we've been building stuff now for remodeling stuff for years now. So we know how much things cost. Amazon's my best friend, and Home Depot and Squire Lumber and whatever, but
all the local lumber yards.
Squire Lumber.
Shout out.
What do you have for a local?
Eastford Building Supply.
Eastford Builder Supply. Yeah. So we've been to all of those before, but Squire Lumber, which is like actually in like Palmer, Munson, Mass.
Oh wow.
Is where my dad goes. It's right down the road, so he'll just get, and that's a local.
Right.
But so we're like, we did the numbers. We're like, let's build 4. How much would 4 cost us? How much would 10 cost us? Whatever. And then we were like, okay, let's start with 4. And literally I said to my dad, hey, we're going to start a porta potty business. He's like, whatever. Like, this has got to be insane.
I've met him. That is probably exactly what he did.
He's a very patient man.
Yeah.
She has a lot of ideas and a lot of, I want to do this, I want to do that. And he goes along with it.
He goes along
very
with
patient.
it.
Yeah.
I texted him. I said, oh, this is our idea. And he said, yeah, I think that's our real idea. So, needless to say, I think that was Labor Day weekend.
Oh, wow.
So that was Saturday. And I think on Sunday or Monday, we bought some stuff, brought it over, and we went for it. We didn't have anything. We had like no idea what we were doing. So
as every entrepreneur finds themselves.
Exactly. So my dad was like way ahead of the game. He's already like, sleepless nights, figuring out how to do this and do that, and how big we're gonna make it, how small, how whatever. So we've had to cut holes in the floor. We've had to do all kinds of stuff and redo what we've done and whatever. So it's a lot of mistakes, but it came out really nice.
So don't rent the first one because it's no. I'm just like,
it's like the first pancake.
Yeah, it's like the demo.
So, it's totally the demo version, but
it looks really nice.
It's totally secure and whatever. But a lot of YouTube videos to figure out how to do things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's the greatest part about YouTube. I mean, you literally could have every skill known to mankind. People post that stuff all.
Yeah.
So and. Like how to build a sink, like a foot pedal sink.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a foot pedal sink, so you just push it, water comes out or whatever.
Oh, really?
YouTubed it.
Cool.
Sent the YouTube to my dad. We bought the supplies, and he's like a modern day MacGyver.
Yeah.
He pretty much can figure out anything.
That's cool that you know that reference.
MacGyver was my favorite show growing up as a kid. I even have like a T-shirt.
It used to be a Monday night show. I used to watch it with my dad all the time.
Yeah. He could make a bomb out of a stick of gum, I think, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's been the start, and then we've had a lot of, failures and successes, and then it's completed. I mean, it can be used right now.
Right.
Obviously, nobody's going to use it until the spring. Actually, though, I had somebody call today for February.
Oh, yeah. Why not? Don't discriminate.
I mean,
I was like,
tents are cheap.
I was like,
put some
woo!
heaters. Does it come with heat?
Water freezes in February.
That's the thing. So, of course, I'm thinking, oh, my God, we have no heat. Should we have put heat in it?
You
My
could
dad
run like a space heater or something.
Yeah.
With electricity. If you
Right.
need it.
Yeah, otherwise the water might
Yeah, we
freeze
just-
up for washing.
Yeah,
So that
I
was
don't
my
know.
concern. I might be able to put antifreeze in the toilet, but I can't really put it on your water to
Yeah,
wash your hands.
Like
so.
right now, the toilet has antifreeze in it because we tried it out, and we didn't actually try it out.
Oh, no
Tried
test
the
runs?
No. Yeah.
We ate 6 cans of chili. We're just waiting now. Test pilot.
We have like my dad's friends come over and pick them up for go out to dinner. They got pictures of them standing in the
Yeah, they're all like, sending us pictures, like
Sending us
pretending to
pictures.
use it, and we're like, oh my god, People are using it.
They weren't. They weren't. They totally weren't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we obviously want to build more, and there's some logistics to cover at this point, but we know that nobody's really gonna rent it.
It's
Now
a little bit
it's
off season.
season.
Yeah. So
And I think it was the perfect time.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So we have plenty of time to, figure out what it is that we need to figure out and whatever. Like we don't have a website yet. And we're still at the point where, like last night, we were talking about, should we have people call us? Should it be a calling system or should it be a booking system where you can just book the weekend online and per potty?
Depends what you want to
It
put out
depen-
there for cost.
Yeah, it that depends, but then it's also like a conversation about where the placement of it is. Like that's kind of I already had that conversation actually with somebody today. He's like, "Oh, where can you put it?" And I was like, "Well, driveways or closest to the driveway or anywhere we can get a trailer to is better. I can't go up a mountain and down a hill and cross a meadow.
right.
For the price you can.
Yeah, I know. You kept telling me just charge
There's
more. Just
there's
charge
always
more."
a dollar for somebody.
So, I mean, I guess we could try hooking it to like what do we call it? A side by side or something like that, or
Oh,
a
yeah.
four wheeler, and strap it to it. It does have the ability to have four wheels, 2 wheels in the front, 2 wheels in the back.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
We can
do
go to
that.
some.
Only if I can drive in a straight line, though.
Yeah, so turning it
is the
Yeah.
turning it is
So
the key.
tough part.
we've shared the screen. If you guys
Yeah,
want to
so
just
you can
kind
go
of
over
walk
it.
us through the
Let's see if I can-
pictures and
Well, this is the finished product, of
yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see here.
So it's built out of. So in hindsight, we should have built the base out of 2x6.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, so the toilet actually sits down below the floor.
Oh.
So it's odd. So
Oh.
when we ordered it, it said it was XYZ height, but it didn't include this like trough at the bottom that lays low below the
Oh.
floor.
That's where the hose is for the foot pump. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, we should have started with that, but it's all too.
there's the foot pump.
You have
for
to
the
give
sink.
away all your secrets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Don't be telling them everything.
Hey,
It looks big inside.
Yeah.
it does.
Like-
It's four
Yeah,
and
you
a half by 5.
Twirl
Okay.
around in there. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
plenty of room. So
Yeah, it's actually quite large.
there's a
Um,
trash can in there, so you can put your.
Oh yeah, see the little trash can hole, which I
Yeah.
liked because there's a trash
Oh,
can
yeah,
underneath.
yeah.
So that cabinet, I don't know if there's a picture of it, but that cabinet opens up and then
Is that
there's-
where the fresh water is?
yeah. So there's two holding tanks, like two
Yeah.
Mhm.
7 gallon tanks, one for gray water, one for fresh water. So yeah, that works pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you could do is just kind of say it is a little weather dependent. If you're, if we hit a certain
I would
degree,
Yeah.
change
may
it.
not
Change
function
out the,
well.
Just tell them you can't wash your hands. You have to use
I mean, I
hand
guess I could-
sanitizer.
I could fill
Yeah.
it with
You
hot water.
I mean, I
before you
don't
take it.
think
Yeah.
think it would if you drop it off the day before. I don't think it's gonna freeze
Right,
unless it's like 0.
right.
but then
It's got to be pretty.
you're
cold.
also gonna put like hand sanitizer in there. People
We just
opt
throw a
for that.
little bit of alcohol in that water so it doesn't freeze.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
true.
It's a
Could
good
do
idea.
that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
see,
Good idea. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's true because it's a
Oh,
tank.
there's
Ah,
us.
Are you
There's
sitting
us.
on it?
Are you
We're
guys
sitting on
both-
the potty.
you're
Yeah, we're
both using
sitting
it?
on the potty.
You're
at that
both
point.
using it, so it's a tandem pot. You could do people.
Love seat, toilet bowl.
Love seat,
That's a nice thing to have at a wedding, a tandem potty.
This is Reagan's favorite sign. Hope everything comes out okay.
I like that.
So are those like glued down, or is that stuff you guys
Oh,
put in
no.
after you set it up? So
Right,
there's-
so just take it down, put it in a box, and
Actually,
then.
gluing it down, that's
So-
actually not a bad idea.
well, no, because now the brides can customize it.
Mhm.
So we had
Oh.
we had one of the trailers at ours, and yeah, it wasn't handicap accessible at all. And
Oh, is this?
It's not actually
No.
handicap accessible, but
it's only one step up.
it's only one step.
Yeah, but you
up.
could put a ramp, but if there's
Right.
no room
Right.
for a wheelchair
Correct.
inside,
Right.
then
So
So we are.
you could make a
It would have to
2.0.
be.
yeah, future
much
models
larger.
could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
you
could
could
make
have a
one. Yeah.
handicap
We have
system.
a friend. I have this friend. I call her Miss Beth. She gives me all kinds of advice. She's actually like she's into real estate. I feel like you told her about her. She's got like 5 houses in the Cape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, we've talked. About
So I was talking to her last night, and she's given us, she likes to give us all kinds of ideas and stuff. And she's like, handicap bathroom. And I said, yeah, well, it's got to be obviously bigger. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well,
And
then you need it to go. You need like the sink to come out over, right? So it's like
Yeah, you'd have to get a wheelchair underneath
to be able to
so
go
you have to
underneath,
have.
which is harder in these instances.
Yeah.
But in the
Right.
sense, you could move the stuff back and have it
But
pumping
you
in the back.
need what is it? 36, like a 36 circumference circle.
Right, for the
Yeah,
wheelchair
to
to get
spin
in.
a
and-
Do you have to
wheelchair,
register
ADA
that in some way,
compliant.
shape, or form?
what?
That it's handicapped accessible?
So I would assume that it just meets compliant. Like,
Yeah,
we
you
would
just go online to the
ADA
ADA
compliance.
compliance and,
Yeah.
and make it to those specs, and
Yeah.
then
and
Which-
then
you know.
just say it's handicap accessible.
We know.
Yeah, so because we're
Therapist.
occupational therapists, we always have.
You can
My
oh,
other job.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you know them off the top of your head.
Yeah, rise over run for ramps, you
Yeah.
know, every 12 inches in length for 1 inch in rise. That would be your for your ramp.
Yeah, I mean the ramp will be
Back and forth.
removable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doors
Yeah.
have to be, usually 36 inches.
I mean, that would be a great seller for like a retirement party, right?
Right.
But
Or
I think
weddings,
there are plenty
Yeah,
of people at
weddings,
weddings that
yeah.
are.
well, the weddings are cross generation, right? So
Right,
getting
yeah.
married, you have the younger
Right.
gen,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the parents invite everybody, their grandmother and every aunt and
Mhm.
uncle known to mankind, and God knows how old everybody is, and so you
Yeah.
got to really take that into consideration, you know. So that's another reason why we like this idea, right? Because it's accessible by most people.
Yeah.
Right. So-
Right.
And then you got women in heels, and you got, you know,
Yeah.
everybody's got. Dress
Yeah, some of those get-ups and
yeah.
penguin suits are tough to get around in
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
Just give up and don't go to the bathroom.
And everybody hates a bathroom. I mean, everybody does. Like,
I kind of like them.
you know,
The introvert.
It's a great place to hide.
seriously, a porta
And one of
potty.
these is like, take a book.
Yeah, those are dark and smelly. These are lit up and
Yeah,
you know.
they got lights. So there's a light above, a light over the sink, and then there's an outdoor light.
Is there going to be complimentary poopery?
I can do that upon
Have you
your
heard of it?
request. I think that's a great idea.
I'm just
You
asking.
you can't give away poopery, can you?
Poopery?
Nobody knows what you're talking about whenever you say that.
Oh, really? That's a little spray. You spray it
I
in
think
the
it's
toilet
our
first?
generation that knows
He
what
keeps
it is.
calling it poopery.
It is
'cause that's
called
the
poopery.
brand.
Yeah.
Oh, the brand.
The brand
is
is
a brand.
poopery, that,
Yeah.
but
It's
it is
really
the
called
spray.
potpourri.
Oh,
Right.
No,
yeah.
no, right.
That's
but
the stuff in the bowl. He's talking
Yes.
about the liquid.
poopery is a
Poopery.
spray. It's real.
It is. I've seen it.
Yeah, it exists. You want
Is
me?
it a
We
little-
can pull it up. It is a real thing. That's why I said
Is
it.
that the fart spray stuff?
No, it smells nice.
Creates like a
supposed to s-
film or
yeah.
a barrier over the water.
Yeah, you're
and
supposed to
then
spray it in the bowl. It was like
Oh,
this
okay.
Yeah.
brilliant.
before
yeah.
you
Oh,
go,
all
not
right.
after.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know.
I
the
guess I didn't know that.
directions. Yeah.
I thought it was just like a
Jokes
just another
on you.
brand of potpourri. With,
No.
See, there's the toilet in there. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
it's for. So it's the whole width. That toilet's the whole width of the porta potty, and then you build the vanity over it, so it
Oh, okay.
makes
Yeah.
it look smaller.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is incomplete. This is when
This
you're.
is this is why we're building it.
Yeah, you just have to make sure you leave room to lift the lid so the lid lifts up, you know, so you can.
Yeah, the
Clean it
whole
and
thing. Yeah, there's a whole
whole thing lifts
section
up.
that lifts up.
Does it have a urinal?
Yeah.
It doesn't. So
Hmm.
you can buy those with a urinal attached. However, my biggest thing is like when you sit down, the urinal's in your face.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of like right there. So
I feel like when you're in a fancy one like this, you're more apt to take care of it, especially like, it's not some job site one that you stop
Yeah.
randomly miles from
Exactly.
home.
Yeah.
you know.
You know.
I mean, I asked my dad. I was like, "Oh, when you go in one of these, do you use a urinal?" He's like, "Yeah, every time." But you know what? They have that like cake thing in there that smells so bad, and it's just like
yeah,
gross.
but you're
Kinda
you're at a wedding. Guys are gonna sit down
We-
regardless.
Oh, you think so?
Well,
'Cause
what
I
do you
said
think?
to him, I said, would you sit down in this? Fuck no. He's
We're
like, no way. I'm never
having trouble after 50 episodes.
Here's getting canceled.
So what do you guys think? Would you want a urinal in one of these at a
Yeah.
I mean,
event?
I'm
indifferent.
breezy
yeah.
either way.
Mm.
Sometimes you just gotta take a load off, or you're too drunk to stand in it.
Well,
That would probably be me.
so this toilet's called a recirculating toilet. So the bowl goes down and then it has like a flapper, and you push the foot pedal, and it recirculates cleaner water into the bowl, so it flushes it. But like one of the things that I said, because this is why I asked my dad, I'm like, would you sit? Is that it's a flat surface. So I'm thinking to myself, if you stood there and peed and you were drunk, it could splash back up at you.
Okay.
So it's a little
Yeah,
bit
if you're
further.
drunk, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know
Like,
it.
wow, look at this shower.
You're usually wearing rented pants anyway.
Yeah. So he's like, I
Return
thought of that. I thought of that same thing, and that's why I said, do you think you would sit? And he goes, well, probably some men would probably sit looking at it and seeing the mechanism of it. He's like, but then other people might. He goes, but if you were really smart, you'd stream it off to the right or the left, and you wouldn't just go straight down the center. So I was like, okay. I mean, it's a conversation, right? Because you're thinking to yourself, weddings or parties, it's
Yeah.
a lot of people that drink, and they're going to the bathroom a lot. And so,
We'll have you guys come over and test it out. You can let us know.
It's just
I was upset that we're gonna miss your Oktoberfest.
that was going to be its debut.
That
but
was going to be its debut.
It
What?
would have debuted.
What's the matter? Why can't it be?
We canceled it.
Well, we canceled it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Had too much going on. We had just gotten back from vacation. We were
rotating.
no. She had
And we are talking about a personal party, not like
Yeah.
something you guys are all invited to.
there's one
Oh, boy.
person on, and it's me.
We might just have to have our own party with our own little potty.
Is it gonna is it gonna have directions? I've never seen a pump potty. I've only seen the pump to wash your hands.
So funny. So, yeah. So I told Brittany that we should probably get signs made.
Yeah,
so
like pump 3 times or something.
Yeah, pump.
Well, you might have to say something different.
I think what I wrote is foot pump to flush,
Ah, that's smart.
and then the other the one near the sink says foot pump for water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people don't know, and like there's the spigot or whatever, or the faucet has like this thing that goes up and down and around, and it's not functional. But people are gonna be like, just
They'll be
like I did
standing
with
there
your pen.
a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
Trying to
gonna
get
be
the water to
standing
come out.
there, like what do I do with this thing?
I
or
feel like the
whatever.
foot pump
Yeah.
for water is way more common. I mean, you go to like fairs and stuff, and they have those things out. But
You go out?
no. I see them on the internet.
Yeah, that's what you. I can see that being your search engine.
I
history.
actually like the foot pump for it because it's more
very-
sanitary.
European.
Yeah.
We can only invite European people to come because they'll know how to use it. It's
Oh,
true.
is it European?
Yeah.
European.
Yeah.
European
European.
Make you
design.
work for your water.
Yeah. Actually, it's nice. I mean, I've been to Europe and they're totally into the foot pump. It's great because you don't have to touch anything with your hands.
We used to be. They used to have the big trough ones that they had the big bar on the bottom in school, and you'd step on it and
Oh,
water
yeah,
would come out.
that's right, yeah.
I don't know why they changed it.
I actually think it's
The
a great idea.
government.
'cause
Then
that-
you stand there
way
and
more
you're waving your
sanitary.
hand.
We have some with it's a trough with ice that you pee on.
Really?
Yeah, there's some clubs like that and some restaurants back in my
That's
20s.
weird.
I remember being at. Yeah,
That would have
big-
splashback.
No, you
You can't even figure that
you're
out.
into
There's,
ice.
It melts the
Going
ice.
in the ice. It's like
yeah,
peeing in the snow.
Don't eat yellow snow.
never. Didn't club much, but oons. Where's your club, Plainfield?
I will have you know, the music lady is a very cool spot down in Moose Up, Connecticut.
Sure. Still open?
I think so.
There wasn't anything out here when I drove this way.
No, there's not. We're out
Like,
here though.
Yeah.
I actually kind of felt bad. I was like, oh, wow, we make Matt drive this far to come show us real estate. I'm like, wow, this is so
Well, that's
far.
why I always say
Listen,
we
you're
should-
only one of his 2 clients, so he will do it.
Oh, we better get on that. He must be starving.
we try. It's not for the lack of try.
I know.
We do try.
I know. No, no complaints from here.
I know.
So, and we always have a good
We'll,
time.
we'll
so.
buy you dinner.
I
I think
know.
it's our turn.
We owe you dinner.
We owe you dinner.
We owe you like 5.
No, it's always a good time. We always see some interesting things.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We do.
So, yeah, when you're in the dilapidated market, you always see some fun stuff. So,
Scary stuff.
yeah.
Is all you guys buy is like rehab homes? Or mostly?
It's all
That I'd
we
like
bought
to
with
buy
me.
those, but it just works out that way.
Happened to be the case.
It's in my price point.
Yeah.
My price point, yeah.
That was in our price point when we were looking for a real house.
Well, it's just it kind of just evolved. It wasn't
Right.
We started out flipping. So my mother passed away in 17, And my dad, obviously, like we were talking about, he's a lifelong carpenter or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, I'm bored," after
Yeah.
like 6 months, and I'm like, he has enough money, so I said, "Okay, let's flip a house." So
Did you
went
say
and
that was a terrible idea as well?
Was it a terrible?
What did he
Did he
think?
say that?
What did he think about that
No,
idea?
no. Actually, he liked it. I think he thought, oh, it'll keep him busy.
Yeah,
might
yeah.
make him some money or whatever. I won't say that it wasn't the intention to make money. It really was the intention to keep him busy, like do something,
Mhm.
And so we found our first flip. It was like 103 grand. This is it right here.
This was the first.
This is the first one. It's actually a modular, and it was a foreclosure, and yeah, so we bought it.
Actually, looks like it's in good shape.
It actually, yeah. So its bones were awesome.
Most of the exteriors don't look too bad.
I mean,
too
that's
bad.
half the battle.
Yeah, it was just like
When you go in and you're like,
Let's
oh,
get
am I
to
going to
the
fall
end.
through?
Sometimes you'd like the reverse.
the
You'd
back.
like the exterior to look bad because then it deters people,
Oh yeah.
and then the interior be a little bit better.
Yeah.
yeah. So this is the backyard. That was like that room right there.
It was an add-on,
never
like a.
finished.
It's like a great spot for a man cave.
Yeah. Yep. So we bought it in September,
Let's see.
and we
2020.
flipped it in 60 days.
Wow.
No, it would have been
This
2017,
was
18.
2018.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't
Yeah.
listening.
September 2018 we bought it. Yeah.
So this was the original kitchen, and then
Yep.
blew out the wall. And let's see if we. Nasty carpet. Lovely bathroom.
Yeah.
This is a lot what Matt and I.
Was this like
I was
they?
gonna say,
Was
this
this like
is-
they tried to start to renovate and then couldn't?
No.
Oh no,
Nope.
this is like.
Or, oh,
this
they
is,
just.
No,
Right.
this is how it
That's a
is.
cool color. Did you keep that?
So, have you ever noticed, Matt,
It's not in
whenever we go
Reagan's.
into foreclosures, the colors,
Yeah.
the colors,
They're
are
horrific.
horrific.
Huh.
They're
Interesting.
like the reds, the deep blues, the greens, the.
Well, how many people use? Well, I don't know if you have any clients like this, but there are tons of people that can't get past paint color when they go to look at a house. Like it's
Oh.
not changeable to
you
them.
got to look
Right.
at the carpet.
Right?
Right.
Yeah,
I think
it
that's
happens. It
part of the
happens.
problem is
Much less nowadays.
Vision.
But
You have
Right.
to have a vision.
she has a vision. I can't always see it, but she does. So that's like, yeah, you see something
Yeah.
dilapidated, and you're like, oh my god, I could never make this look good. And so this was that room.
Mm.
So we raised the entire floor. You'll
Yep.
see.
and it's okay if
There
you
you
like
go,
the
look at that.
extreme colors. It's just it's tough to market.
Mhm.
So
we took that wall out there.
Oh yeah,
See?
Yeah.
You see the electrical hanging? That's always safety first.
this OSHA approved.
OSHA approved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OSHA approved mask, goggles,
Yeah.
safety first.
Yep. See?
safety third, I think is.
That was safety
First
first.
was
If-
money or revenue.
Yeah, yeah.
If safety was really first, we'd do 20 on the highway with
Yeah,
helmets
yeah.
in
Right.
every vehicle.
Yeah. Oh, multiple pictures. Oh,
So
so
that's
we
nice.
painted it.
Redone.
Oh, you painted? Okay.
Yeah, it's vinyl siding, but
Yeah.
it was actually in good condition. So we painted it, put new shutters on, new roof because the other roof was orange or whatever.
Nice.
This was that
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
So we actually just
Wow.
our friend had some old random siding he had left over. We just sided that whole thing, and we were gonna paint it anyways. It was like 10 different colors, whatever, and we painted it.
Painted the bulkhead too. That's nice.
Yeah, we added
Little
added the
concrete.
sidewalk.
No, it is nice because like
Your
There's-
bulkhead's not. Oh, your house is.
a lot of
white,
people
right?
will the
The
orange
red,
that
the
orange
Yeah.
or red is
Yeah.
actually a primer. It's
There's
not.
the kitchen. No, the
Oh
kitchen.
wow.
Yeah, this was our first one.
Oh, nice job.
And then you were addicted.
We were, and then after this one, then, we bought a house in Ellington,
Oh, yeah.
and so we flipped that one. That one took us 6 months actually. It was a lot longer. My dad got pneumonia during it, set him back, but we also took on like refinishing the basement
Yeah.
in that one.
I feel like too, like your first flip was 60 days. That's kind of like the bait and switch for like everything after that, because that's like your perfect scenario, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and we bought it for like I think it was like 103, 104, 105, something like that. And then we sold it for 226.
Hmm.
You know, so
Nice.
that was like this.
And you only held a mortgage for 2 months.
We didn't
Oh,
paid
even
cash.
better.
Yep. So
Oh.
that's what's nice about if you do have cash for flips. I mean, that's
Right. Well, especially now because the market's so tough.
the right.
You know.
This is our second one. It's a little tiny little ranch in Ellington. We bought for 110.
Wow.
The following.
Where was the first one?
It was in Stafford.
Oh, okay.
So this is what it looked like when we bought it. Washer dryer in the kitchen. An old man had lived here, so they
Yeah, you do what's practical for you.
yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And then we added this room. It was a garage, and we added that. So it was like this huge little, living room. And then that's the new
Nice.
kitchen.
Nice. You guys like those
It came out good.
square lights or the
Oh yeah, that's me.
Hence why our first Posh Potty is the modern farmhouse.
Which
But I use
And the
round
second one will
lights.
be Modern Farmhouse too.
The sequel. Actually, I think it's gonna be the Cape Cod.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's
the Cape Cod. I think we're gonna do an all-American.
Ooh.
Probably the
Might
red.
rent that just
red
to
wine.
rent it.
wow, I like that. That mantle's very interesting. With
Yeah,
the,
that's original.
Actually, that's
the layers
original.
coming
We
Yeah.
just
out.
painted
Yeah,
it.
that's cool.
Is it
Yeah.
wood?
It is.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Right, but you see the sides of it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of
Like that.
interesting.
That's cool.
Keep going, honey.
Nope.
Is that it?
What happened? Let's see.
But
Um.
yeah, it's
Oh, that's the outside. Oh, that's the bathroom.
Oh, this was the. Did I show this?
No,
This was the
basement.
basement. It was totally unfinished, and we
Finished.
created
oh,
this
Oh,
room
nice.
and
this is
put a laundry room. And
So how many
Half
square
off.
feet is this house? Now that you guys did it.
This one was only like 900 square feet when we, and then we added. That's why we
so
added
the
the.
basement
Plus the garage.
gave it that much.
There was no garage. Oh, so we added that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So ended up being like, I don't know, 14 and change when we were done. And then there's like,
Yeah.
you can see in that picture, there's like the bathroom, and we added a laundry room with a toilet and sink. So there ended up being another bathroom. So we added a bathroom.
Are there any shows that have inspired you?
No, I don't watch any shows.
You don't watch any of them. Oh wow,
No.
good for you.
I mean, my dad.
Flip or flop.
I was like, I was wondering if
I mean,
there
the
was
60
any,
days,
haven't-
that's like a
yeah.
staple for those
Yeah,
shows.
this is
Yeah.
six. This was 6 months though. This took a little longer.
Well,
which
they
is
would,
fine.
you know. But if you pay cash, I mean,
does-
they still say if you're holding it for that long,
Well,
you know.
Well, so we're gonna get into that because she's a true investor. So like, even if she orders pizza, she puts that on the budget, like,
Oh, wow.
and all the time they spend heating, insuring, and all that stuff. That's all part of it.
Mm.
So we like, so you know, they've kind of made comments about we try, but they do all the math very diligently, and that makes my job easy because you know I don't have to advise them to be, you know, responsible.
What
They
is
already
the
are.
pizza budget on one of those?
She doesn't let me eat pizza. I don't know what. It's about.
I just meant like every little thing gets budgeted.
Oh, is that for Matt?
Like-
That's
Not on a tight.
Matt's pizza budget?
Yeah.
We have to buy Matt pizza, so he'll come drive all the way out there.
I need to take Matt out to dinner just so I can write it off.
There you
That's
go.
smart. Why
All I
don't you
gotta
take
do
me
is-
out to dinner? You can write it off.
All I gotta do
I
All we
is
have to talk about is this.
I have other people for that.
Oh, man.
you could have had all these deals, Matt, if I had known you then.
If you had known me.
Oh, these aren't even what
Yeah,
we
this is
did.
this is pre Matt Norn.
Actually, it's before you even had your license, though. Oh,
Yeah, I got mine in what?
17?
18.
Oh, okay,
Seven,
yeah.
whatever. I'm in my 7th year, so
Wow.
whatever that
That's
is.
2017.
Yeah.
If you want to do the math.
Yeah, so
You're not doing it, so.
the real
Oh, that's right. Because during practices and principles classes, Trump was running, and it was a big debate in the class. And then it was like, this is a prime example why you don't talk politics when you're trying to sell stuff. There
you go.
Funny thing.
Yeah.
So
Show the outside of the house.
Oh.
It ended up being a super cute house in the end. Oh, we actually. Oh yeah, it's cute.
I like that siding. That's very Cape Cod-esque.
Yeah, we did the shake siding there. That was that.
Is that vinyl?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually wicked expensive.
That's not shocking to me at all.
Yeah.
yeah, the cedar
The
shake
bathroom.
Vinyl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the bath.
Yeah,
impressions.
the bathroom.
Oh,
We ended up
impressions.
doing like Carrera marble and stuff like that, just to like
Oh.
scale that.
Now are those wall pieces in the shower one piece? Like
No.
no, but
Those are
let me
like
rephrase.
the panels.
right. So, but the those squares in that are like inlaid or
They're in it, yeah.
they're
Yeah.
part of it.
And then
part of
that was the first time actually we ever did like a
Reglazing.
reglazing.
Oh.
Had somebody come in and
yeah, yeah.
reglaze the tub.
Yeah, he did a nice job.
They did a really nice job with that.
Yeah, back when I was a contractor, I couldn't even count how many of those we just sledgehammered apart and threw out the window.
Oh, yeah.
For redoing bathrooms, and then cast iron all of a sudden made this big comeback.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, we threw a lot of those in the dumpster.
That's my dad's worst nightmare right there, that tile floor. He's like, oh, you couldn't have picked anything bigger. The tiles.
was it
and-
8 inches?
There were like
Tiny.
6 maybe, and
6
then
inches.
they're perfectly straight. He's like, you can put something with like a little,
Oh yes.
You know, like a-
imperfections.
you know, so the little
That's like,
imperfections.
that's like my move. Pick something that's like hides the imperfection.
Right, like the clay ones that aren't.
He wanted to
don't have
kill me when
perfect
I
edges.
brought that. He was like, "Oh, I got the tile. We can start doing that next weekend." He looked at it. He goes, "Are you kidding me?"
At least it
I
was
was
a
like,
small
well,
bathroom.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
I think that's probably the best quality of a carpenter isn't so much what they can make, it's how they can cover things up.
Oh yeah.
That's how
Oh, yeah,
if you know
that's-
they're really good.
Oh,
If you
no.
can cover things up, I think that's the true
Yeah.
test.
Come over to my house. I covered up a lot.
You're kind of in the like right in the exact realm whenever I've taken any classes or we've ever talked about like the difference between an amateur and a professional carpenter is the amateur will tell you all about the mistakes along the way building whatever they built, and then the professional is like, here it is.
Yeah.
Buy
Well,
it.
You can make it look good, you know?
Yeah.
That's what people care about. It's
Because
gonna-
there's always mistakes, and it's
Oh,
like one thing I always refer to is like a tattoo artist. They probably make a mistake on every
Oof.
tattoo, but they know how
I
to
hope
cover.
not.
But they know how to cover it up. It's you know it's,
Do cover ups.
I spend more money on caulk than most people.
CAUL.
Okay. Yeah.
come on, you're making it harder for me to sell your house after you flip it.
No hurricane, no
that's-
tornado,
All
no
kinds of caulk.
That's the mark of a true finished house is the caulk. Well, you gotta caulk it all in, paint it all in. Looks nice that way.
Yeah, it is pretty wild what they've done with paint and caulk and the technology
Yeah.
that for how it's, there's definitely a trick to installing it. You got to have some experience, but some of that stuff just looks so amazing all painted in.
Oh yeah.
So
And my dad has that like skill too, where these places and these houses they're not perfect. You know what I mean? So like the floor can be like
Right.
you never know what you're gonna get, especially if it's concrete or something like that. He's like the ultimate scriber. So
Yeah.
he can scribe anything, and do all that stuff and make it look level to the eye, even though you got to fix it. But
I mean, the
Right.
majority of people aren't going to go in there and notice.
they wouldn't
mistakes,
notice
right?
it. I mean, I definitely notice everything.
She
when
likes
you
to
when
go
you
to
start
open
doing
houses.
it and knowing
Yeah.
what you're looking for, yeah, I've gone into people's houses, brand new house, and it was like you see the tile go from 1 foot to nothing, 15 feet. You're like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
let's go in the kitchen. I can't be here.
We've we've
Switching
definitely
stuff.
learned so many things. Her and I could probably put flooring down by ourselves, like click and lock floor easily by
Mhm.
ourselves without any problem. Sometimes it's like him getting us started.
Yeah,
He's like got that thing, the math thing going on. The,
yeah. The
You-
hardest thing to do is get started.
yeah,
You need the-
absolutely.
You need the first piece.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You need
Yeah,
the-
if the wall's not level,
Yeah.
a lot of times they're like this, so getting
Yeah.
started is
just that, and there's that like intimidation of it, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's just like finding that routine, and then it's like, oh, okay, now we get it.
Yeah.
and yet
yeah.
the
So-
flow.
It's always awesome to have somebody like my dad around for all of those things.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to do any of it without him. Obviously, I mean, I would need to hire somebody for some other technical
Right, have
stuff.
your
I mean, there's
general
there's
carpenter.
skills that we have that we could do by ourselves. We don't have anybody manage our property, so we have 3 rental properties, and we manage them ourselves. So,
Why did I think you had more than 3?
so we have 3 units. Yeah, we have 3 units.
because we've taken you
Well-
to look at so many.
How many units do you have within the 3 properties?
6.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's probably why I was.
So they call that 6 doors. We have 6 doors.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember you guys telling me has to hit a certain profit level, otherwise we walk away.
That's her. I would have a less of a margin.
Well,
She has a big margin.
I think you know, you listen to all those real estate people, right? So it's like people want to get into real estate and they listen to podcasts and listen like, well, if it cash flows just $200 a month, that's great. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not great for me, because when you think about the things that can go wrong, the things you have to replace, someone doesn't pay you rent, the boiler goes, you know, the water bill alone is sometimes $200 every quarter, you know. So for me, it's like, well, it's got to at least cash flow X amount, you know, in order to have that kind of safety net, so that I'm not dipping in my own pocket all the time, you know, because you've already shelled out all this money
Yeah,
to
your initial
renovate it,
investment.
and if you have a mortgage on it, and you know, so
But wouldn't you say, like, to me, if it's a professional investor and they're saying it has a $200 like profit at the end of the month, to me that means they're filling up coffers with that. So it's not really, it's not. It only has $200 and that's it. It's they're putting money away for the new roof, money away for whatever. If they have a depreciation on part of it or the boiler's not there, they have.
I mean, it
these
takes a long
coffers
time
that they
at
would fill up.
$200. Think about it.
Well, that's
put
what I'm
away
saying.
$200, and you're
To
like,
me-
oh, I'm saving for a house. Well, it's going to take you a long time at $200.
To me, the $200 should come after the coffers are full,
Right.
which is probably what you're doing. In
Oh,
that way.
yeah.
So like,
yeah, it's what do you have? Yeah, once all your expenses are.
Right. You
expenses,
treat your
future
profit as an expense, right? So you're like, I need $500 a month profit, right? So you have $500 a month profit, and then you're like, okay, then there's $200 over that. That's
For-
in addition,
Right.
you know?
emergency fund or
Yeah, I
repair
mean,
maintenance
don't-
stuff.
Don't think that I feel like, oh, people are like, oh yeah, we'll just buy a property and it's easy. I mean, something's always coming up. You know, remember there's two boilers, there's two kitchens, there's two, you know, there
Right.
could be 4 bathrooms. There's you know, 2 of everything,
Mm.
right? In your own
Yeah.
home, there's only 1, right? So if something goes wrong, you're only paying for 1. If something goes wrong in ours, there's 2
Yeah,
times, you know, 4
yeah,
3 places. So now we have all of these things potentially that we could have to pay for. And we've had a boiler go. I mean, we've pretty much touched every apartment except for 1.
Which is, I think, what you plan for when you
Yeah.
Yeah.
buy it. You know, you think, okay, I'm not going to replace the boilers now; they're running, but they could
Yeah.
go any day.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
be prepared, and you just accept that, and
Right.
you just know.
I mean,
that
a
that-
roof, we just put a roof on, $26,000.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We don't make $26,000 on that house in a year.
right.
It doesn't
right,
even pay for itself in a year. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you gotta think about all of those things when you do it. However, it's not a short-term investment. It's
Right.
a long-term investment. You know,
Right.
you really don't start seeing anything great till like after 5 years of
Yeah.
owning it, and that's when you start to see, you know, some more.
Yeah,
You have
but
to
5 years is kind of the benchmark in any business.
Right.
It's like,
I think so, yeah. And when that 5 years is up, it's like, okay, all of the stuff that probably needs to be replaced has now been replaced. So it's
Yeah.
like now it's like a house that can go for a period of time without having a lot fixed. I will say this: there is no reason to put like crappy materials on a rental property. Like
Right.
I think I kind of thought that in the beginning, like, oh, it's just a rental, we'll just put $100 toilet. No, actually you should put a $250 toilet. Like you should spend the extra money because you're
Then-
going to spend that again.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of
It's
wear and tear.
a lot of wear and tear.
People beat up on things, and you
Yeah.
know, you want to put like good quality flooring because, you know, you don't know how someone's going to treat it.
But also, you get the tenants that will more appreciate it when it's
Yeah, I mean,
nicer stuff.
we
they
really
typically-
have had
out.
good tenants. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had our share of a couple that weren't so great, but we've had some great tenants. But we have gone through an eviction, you know,
Uh-huh.
so that's a $5,500
Oof.
expense, you know.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's
the-
probably pretty cheap, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But then the renovations on it because it was so bad. So all said and done, that's a $30,000 unit that it
Right.
cost us between the eviction, the trash removal cost us like $2,200, and then it cost us another $22,000 to repair it.
Yeah.
22,000.
Yeah. So when people think
Well,
you're,
to go through it because it was so old.
It was
And
old,
that was the one
whole-
Matt
And
sold
they-
us.
Yeah, it gets,
Shocking.
The one we didn't get to see.
Guys, you'll love it.
you did. I thought
Yeah.
you went inside
No.
I mean,
they were the
Didn't
ones
they,
that
like, door?
they wouldn't
at
let
the
us
door.
in.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
they were
They were
so.
tough.
So
Yeah.
just so people that don't know, when a tenant is in a building and it's for sale, that tenant does not have to let anyone in
No.
legally.
Yeah.
So that's one of the hurdles you have to get over. You
Right.
know, especially as a realtor, it's tough because sometimes you can't negotiate a good showing or
Well,
or
that's
any of
the
that.
problem
So
when you're
you kinda-
seeing it. It's like,
But
well, it's sight unseen. So do you want to buy this?
Right.
So you got to think worst case scenario. So let's
Yeah.
just say everything needs to be replaced, and you have to
Yep.
base buying that property on that, which is, I feel like, what happened. You know,
for
So,
sure. Yeah.
And like you really do need to know how much things cost, like off the
Mm-hmm.
top of your head, like you know what I mean. And we've come to understand that pretty well. So
Right.
when we're looking at something, you know, and we say, oh, everything's wrong, and nothing works, so then you're able to say, okay, well, this is all. Like we say,
Yeah,
we're,
we've
we're
been at
low-
houses before.
We're
like,
low,
okay, the
low
toilet doesn't
ballers, you
flush.
know, because
Yeah.
we're like, oh, everything's wrong, you
Yeah.
know, and we're gonna have to redo the whole thing.
And we've seen a handful of them go down and get sold for where we were. You
Right.
know. We've seen that happen.
Yeah,
So
it's just I mean, ever since COVID and the
yeah,
economy, it's just
there's
been a
also some people
really
that put
weird.
a lot more money than you would think into properties,
Yeah.
and it's like what? And also home. You know, you guys are investors, so that's different than owner occupied investor. So like,
right. Like
Right.
they're putting marble countertops in a flip. It's like, well, I wouldn't do that because you don't. Some things you just don't get your money back.
Right.
for,
right? But
you
if
know.
they're living in it,
Yeah.
then they're getting the time with
Yes.
that high end piece.
Oh, yeah, if
and
I was
so
gonna
so that's tough to compete with
live
as
in
an
there, I'd want
investor. Yeah,
marble countertops too. You know?
If I had to do it all over again, though, I would do owner occupant.
oh,
So like
for-
if I had to do this whole thing over again,
start.
like
Yeah.
if I knew what I know now, I would have started my first house as an owner occ, and for the next 10 years I would have just kept moving
yeah,
to
Yeah.
a new place, and
That's
I
the-
would have built a 10 10 house portfolio,
right.
and I could be set for life.
Now,
And then you're
if you
done.
do owner occupied, and then you don't sell it but you move, you lose that
No,
No.
you don't lose that tax break on capital gains when
No.
you sell. it.
You got to live there for. It's got to be your primary residence for 3 out of 5 years. Do not
the
take my
3 or
word for
2.
that.
Two
I
out
thought
of
it was
5.
two.
Yeah.
I thought it was 3.
So
So-
so if you live there for 2 years and then sell in 30 years, that's my
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
oh
No. So you're saying do I pay capital gains on my?
correct because you lived there for 2 years, but then you hadn't
Right.
lived there for 28.
Yeah, I mean in this case, again, a long-term game. You know, you're not selling it until somebody dies in the partnership or something.
Yeah. If you,
You know
live,
what I mean?
Oh, because
2 out of
you're.
the
Oh,
5
that's right.
years
Because
that
you're not
sell.
selling. You're talking move into your rental units.
Yeah, you just keep
Fix
moving.
them up and then
Right. That
rent it out
essentially
as
that's
you
what I'm
leave.
saying. If you
Then-
keep moving, but you did put 2 years in the first one, but you sell it 30 years later, you're gonna probably pay capital gains on it because
You
Right.
could.
yeah. So the
But you're
long-
also gaining the depreciation on it throughout the years of owning it.
right.
So
Plus, you're keeping one apartment
and they're-
immaculate.
And
And
they're-
not only that, you're living rent-free probably
Right.
as you
for-
go through.
for
yeah.
like 10 years. You're building this portfolio. Technically, the first one we bought, she bought as an owner occ. So that one's in Vernon, right by that really cool one that we saw and built into the side of the hill that time,
Oh yeah,
where they used different tile in the bathroom. Remember that?
I do remember that.
So she bought that one for 133 off market as her first one, and it was an owner occ. So she put her address there. Somebody was living there in the second apartment, so we waited 6 months for them to move, and then we redid it. And then by that time, basically the year was up, and we put somebody in there. So, I mean, there's
Yeah. I think anyone that's starting out, if they're young, that's the best way to do it. I
Right.
mean, I know the
Totally.
market now
Missed
is
that boat.
tough, but it's in hindsight, it's like, oh well, if I had known. And don't get married either if you want to do it.
So
So
definitely don't get
So
married
that's
twice.
it.
Then.
yeah. So if you're single, it's better.
Yeah.
Just live in sin, I guess, for X amount of years and don't get married because it behooves you. But yeah, you do that and you just keep buying more and renting and you just keep,
Yeah.
adding on. And, there's different ways to finance those things,
Right.
whether it's
you can
Hard
finance
money
it yourself
loan.
or
Well, I mean,
home equity
the biggest
or-
thing is you can take debt out when it's tax free, right? And
yeah.
So you can
So
keep pulling on the houses
yeah,
to keep
like
rolling
home
it.
equity.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's different. That's the thing. People get really creative with financing, and
Yeah.
that's how they can continue to buy them. And I think that's,
And when you owner something or you buy it, like when we go to buy something with you, we got to pay the 20% down. But if I'm an owner occ,
Oh, you
I'm
can
going to
do
buy
it
it
five.
5%,
Yeah.
and I only have
Keep
to
the
put
cash
that
in your pocket.
exactly.
Right.
So when you can keep doing that over and over again, that's a way better deal. So, and Franny and Freddie will let you go up to 10. So after 10, then you have to go to an investor loan. So we
Wow.
have to really, I mean, I look more at like investor loans than I would.
We have to look at some products because there was an FHA investor product that was coming out. So
Yeah.
we'll have to look at
So
that.
like an asset-based lending type of program. So like there's two that I know of. Asset-based lending has got one of them, and then Convoy, and they basically look at your portfolio and lend you based on your portfolio and how much money you have, like cash wise, instead of looking at
Your
like
W-2.
sticking that microscope up your you know what and like looking at your W-2s and all of that stuff. Because like when we went to your guy there,
Yeah.
we financed 3
Right.
at one
I
time.
remember.
Oh
that.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
They're
So we had-
refinancing all of them.
Yeah, she had a mortgage out on one of them, and then 2 of them were in cash, and we wanted to get the cash back out and just mortgage them. So we did 3 at once, and it was like
A
the
nightmare.
paperwork was out of control.
Yeah.
Out
It
of
was
control.
a lot.
And you know, every time we turned, it was like they needed something else from us. And then, but then we went to go buy our own house, and that all of those properties falls on our debt to income
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of that stuff. So it
Yeah,
can
so
get-
it didn't look too pretty.
It didn't look pretty.
They were like, "You want to buy another house?" Like, well, yeah, we had a hard time buying our own home.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, yeah. So that was.
Sounds like you should have done owner occupied.
Yeah, we should have bought another.
I was trying to occupy my own home, and I couldn't get in it.
Well, we did that. We lived at one of the rental properties for a while, and that's when we bought the condo. We're like,
Yeah.
this is a bad idea. We're not living at one of our rental properties anymore.
Yeah, it's tough to cohabitate with tenants sometimes. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
sometimes it works out and it's great.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
But
it's
if you're-
hard,
In their eyes, always available. That can be tough.
yeah, and I mean it makes them
Every
feel
time they see
uncomfortable
ya.
too.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like
I
they.
would've-
I mean, we're not like we try to do that vetting process, which I'm sure everyone does, where you try to pick great tenants that
Yeah.
you're gonna get
Have a
along
little
with
meet
and
and greet,
have a
something.
mutual understanding and respect each other, and yeah, so that can be hard. So
And then they don't pay.
Right. Yeah.
we haven't really had that problem.
Just
luckily.
once,
1 month.
3 months.
3 months.
It was during COVID, but it wasn't even a COVID related thing. She
Yeah.
wasn't even not paying because of COVID. Like
Yeah, I
that
feel
wasn't
like
the
landlords
excuse.
kind of got screwed during COVID.
Oh, they did. The regulation
yeah,
and
they did.
litigation that went
Yeah.
through. I had 2 other investor clients that just sold their whole portfolios. They were just like, I'm out.
They got crushed. Yeah,
They got crushed.
I did feel
Yeah.
bad.
I did.
Yeah,
We
I
got
mean,
lucky. We really got lucky.
Did get lucky. Yeah.
So, but that's also part of like the vetting process too, right? So, we have one person that's Section 8. So I listened to a couple podcasts about that stuff, and it's like diversify your portfolio in the sense like who you have as tenants, because you don't want all Section 8. You don't want all retired. You don't want all, you know what I mean, of
Yeah.
something.
Right,
And they
right.
say it's always good to have all different types of people, because it's we have single moms, we have single dads, we have families, we have single people, we have elderly, you know what I mean, like we
Right.
have everything, just because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket with
Right.
like just Section 8, which obviously Section 8, you get your money. We've never had a problem with our Section 8 tenant, which is great. But
It can be a little bit more of a riskier demographic, I would say.
definitely it can be, and not only that, from what I hear, I mean, she doesn't, but they tend to complain more and things like that, or expect a little bit more for whatever reason. I don't know. I listened to this guy called Lumberjack Landlord. He's out of New Hampshire, where Brittany actually lives, and he's
I don't
like,
live there anymore.
You don't live
I'm
in
just
it.
from there.
We're from there.
I commute
You
every
live-
day from New Hampshire.
You live with me, I know. But he's like, yeah. I mean, he's like, I got Section 8. He's like, and I try, try to work with everybody and whatever. He's like, but they always tend to be the hardest for me to manage, So, and he likes nurses. He likes,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that
Yeah, but even during COVID, like all bets were off. But the companies that temporary closed and incomes of all,
Yeah.
like it was
And,
just all over the map.
in the eviction moratorium.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
insane.
yeah, you
And-
couldn't do anything to anybody. So it
Yeah,
was-
so they just had the like perfect storm. They had an eviction moratorium, and then they had you don't have to pay your rent. So it's like,
Yeah.
there's so many of them. Just like, well, why would I pay my rent then? And
yeah,
it was
some
just
people took
and-
advantage of it.
a lot of the stimulus went right to everybody rather than I
To the
feel like the
landlords.
stimulus should go to the landlords.
Yeah.
That
That's where
you
they
know, didn't
made the
necessarily.
mistake. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Shocking.
the stimulus should have gone to the landlord, and then it would have
For sure.
not.
Or
created-
something, some sorts of thing. You know, it's one thing to give stimulus to
Yeah.
the tenant for whatever reason, but the landlord should get the rent portion at least.
Well, I
or,
think the
you
thought
know,
was
like
everyone's going to
something
do the right thing, right? We give you the stimulus, it goes to you. You're going to
Pay
pay
your
your
rent.
rent, and
Yeah.
But they should have when the stimulus came out and they were doing that. Then the moratorium on eviction should have changed. So then it would have forced.
Well, one of the
people
biggest
to-
issues
right, if you're going to
was-
give everybody the money to pay
Right.
their rent,
Then they.
then why do we need
Would
a
it matter?
moratorium,
Right.
right? Yeah, but
Yeah. I mean, we did really get lucky during COVID, so I have no complaints there. But I mean, we've only been doing it for a short amount of time, five years or whatever. We've really hit probably every mistake and problem that
don't
known
say
to
that.
man.
that's what I said.
That's
Don't
what she
say
said. She's like, I'm like, well, what mistake?
We said that a lot during this podcast.
Yeah.
Last year.
That's how you do it. Trial and error.
Yeah, for sure. You know, even like the whole like how to get a renter. You know, it seems easy, but it's not. And you want to meet them, and you want to, it's like people don't even show up. We just we have a property up right now that's for rent. We have a
Oh, you didn't use your realtor for that?
I could, Matt.
We're
Do we like to do things
yourself.
ourselves a little bit?
Yeah, I know. Still got to put my plug in.
You made me look
And
bad.
are you having trouble renting it?
No, you guys.
We don't have trouble renting.
You're
it.
definitely plugged into that world. So
Yeah,
it's,
it's just
sometimes
that,
it
people don't
happens
show
quick.
up, and
Right.
it's like you like confirm, oh, you're coming
Even-
tomorrow, and they don't show
And
up.
none
Yeah,
of these are
even
close
as
to your
a-
house, right?
even as
We're
a
there. We're like waiting for them, and this happened to us. We had an open
Yeah.
house. It was 10 to 12, and we had three people supposed to show up. One of the people that scheduled showed up. Everybody confirmed they were coming, and then some random person came. People came. So I mean, it's like this happens to us all the time.
Yeah, it is weird. Even with being a realtor, having them sign a representation letter and everything.
Do they
and-
not show up?
And then they don't show up.
What? Oh, I thought
Yeah.
this was just like a renting thing. People like are buying
Tenants. Tenants.
Oh,
Oh.
tenants.
No, tenants are notorious
okay.
for
Yeah.
not showing up. So I'll confirm with them. Even like if my GPS says it's 40 minutes to get there, I'm 45 minutes out. I'm like, you're definitely gonna be there, right? And then I get in
Yeah.
the car.
takes you 45 minutes to get anywhere from
Right.
here.
Not my house.
Nope. We are 5 minutes from one of the best coffee shops I've ever been at.
Yeah, I think
We don't have to
you've had them
go.
on the podcast, right?
We
We've
have.
had multiples.
Yeah.
We don't have to go far from much.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So my grandfather, never left Danielson,
Wow.
Connecticut, which is
Well,
a town
my
over.
dad
Sounds like
pretty
your
much
dad.
that way. Yeah,
Like
he never
barely-
left Stafford.
Barely ever left Danielson, and usually it was to visit one of his kids that moved out of Danielson. But
It's like when you call me and you're like, "Hey, I think I have this property in East Poughkeepsie," and I'm like, "My dad will never go there." I'm like, "It's probably a good deal, but my dad will never go there. I'll be doing it alone. It'll be horrible."
yeah, and one reason why we were selling that property where we met was because of distance from. So
Right, yeah.
if you're going to become a landlord, understand like every time there's an issue, you have to drive or you have to pay somebody out of your property management world to go there.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want
So-
properties that are 2 hours away. They're very difficult to manage. So if there's a
Right.
flood or fire, so to speak,
Yeah.
I don't
Literally.
even. We have two in the town we live in, and one in Vernon, and the Vernon one's not even that far, but it always just seems out of the way for me. It's 25 minutes. She drives by it, so she can, do some things over there when she drives by. But I'd rather have them all just kind of like in Stafford,
Yeah.
Or whatever. But you'd be surprised at the difference in just like water and like the water bill between Stafford and Vernon. It's like half. Like, so Vernon's like half as much for the same amount of people as it is in Stafford.
Wow.
And we pay water and sewer.
Yeah.
Sewer as well.
Yeah.
So sewer in Stafford is like $370 every 6 months. In Vernon, it's like 120 or
Every 6
something
months.
every 6
Wow.
months. I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
You're,
Those are the things that
those
You
are
gotta
things that add up
factor
after
that
a
in.
while. We've had when the family of 6 that you helped us buy there that lived in there, plus a family of, so it was 9 total adults. One time that bill was $700 for water in a quarter.
Huh.
So that's another way I also think about how I'm going to rent, like
Right.
how many people. Because
Yeah.
now my water bill is going to go up. My sewer bill is going to stay the same, but my water bill is going to go up. So, if it's a 3-bedroom, but only 2 people want to live there, if they want to pay the price, then I'm more
Right.
willing to rent.
I was watching a podcast where they had a landlord. He had hundreds of units, but he couldn't figure out the water bill was crazy at one of his apartments. Couldn't figure it out. He's like, let me go there during the day because he knew they were working. So he's like, look, he can hear water. And so they would just leave their faucet running because there was like some dispute over something and there was some anger between them. And like you're talking like tens of thousands of dollars a quarter for this.
Oh yeah.
And they just left it on. Yeah.
Well, that's why, it's good to have a good relationship with your tenants
Right.
because it's a reciprocal relationship. You treat them well, they treat you well. And you just have to reach common ground and respect them too, and not.
It probably
be
makes
like-
a difference too that they actually see you in person, right? Once you
Oh,
once you
yeah.
put
You
a
have to
face
be
to someone,
present.
once
And I
you
feel
put a
like
face, it's like they feel less about screwing you
Right.
over something because they feel bad.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
got to be
We're
present.
there- we're
We
there
tell
all the
everybody
time.
that when we're out there, we're like, we're very present. We're here. We come by weekly. We
You
do
look in your windows.
not drive by. Yeah, look in your window.
We mow the lawn.
No,
we
but
do the
you
We'll
know,
be here Christmas morning.
We mow our own lawns. We do our,
Oh, okay.
so we're
Right.
there on
Yeah.
a weekly basis. We collect our own rent. We do everything ourselves. So we're around, so we
Yeah.
notice when things don't seem right and stuff like that. So yeah, you got to be present and let them know that you're paying attention too,
Right.
and that if something is wrong, we'll be here to fix it,
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, we had an issue about the water too. We had the least amount of people living somewhere, but the most amount of
Oh.
water being used, and we were like, "Oh, this is weird." So I said something. I was like, "Hey, is there anything running? Is anybody using extra like laundry? Is anything going on?" And I called each tenant and whatever, and they said no. And then I had a feeling that other family members or outside people were using the laundry. So I put up signs
Oh,
like, laundry. We offer laundry,
this
so
is
that
America. Signs didn't stop anybody.
yeah. So I put signs on all the doors going into the basement that the laundry is only for the use of the 3
Yeah.
people that are here, and I listed them, and
I wouldn't
Like-
even have thought about it. You should put coin op.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you were
Guess what?
busting me
I know,
when I
you-
suggested
you
that
wanted me to
so
put
many
coin
times.
up in so bad. You're like, coin up. We can put coin up in here. Look at this. Every time we go, and they're like, oh, they got coin up, and I'm like, oh god.
we're the
Coming
nice
with my-
landlords. We don't charge for laundry.
Coming with
but-
our bag of quarters every week.
But
filling
it
that.
turns out to be one of the biggest things that soaks you.
I know.
Oh, good
And
job,
lo-
soaks you. I like
And lo and behold, my signs went up, and my next quarter went down.
Really?
Oh, okay.
So it did. work.
However,
Good work.
she did said she had a running toilet once in a while. So I went and I fixed the toilet. Seemed fine, whatever. So
Well, I think,
I don't know
think
if it
people
was
get
the
scared though, right? Like you put the signs up and it's like,
yeah,
oh,
like I'm
they
watching.
they might kick us out if we keep
I-
doing this.
I
you
did
know?
put a
Right.
camera in the basement.
Did you tell them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
you have to tell 'em.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Only a common space, of course. It's like
Guys, there's a camera in here.
yeah.
Oh my god. I'm on camera? No way.
We haven't disclosed that to anybody that there were cameras.
That thing
Signed
I
an
signed
audio
when I-
video thing.
Everybody says I don't read it.
I didn't read it.
That's not our fault.
I didn't read it. I
Just
just
like
signed
Matt
it.
has assigned stuff, we never read it either.
I trust
Sign
you.
here, you'll end up with the house.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Matt
Well, you guys
now.
don't know. In 30 years, all those automatically
Yeah.
go to.
Yeah, probably.
It was signed over to
We have
you,
no
Matt.
idea.
I signed him over.
No, I'm not that clever.
Well, that's true.
But moving forward,
I might have to do something. You've showed us like 6,000 houses, and we haven't made a deal yet. Well,
you haven't broken the record.
Oh,
I haven't broken. Okay, you're keeping like a check, like
No,
a
it
little
just-
thing.
You just know you have certain people that they're habitual lookers, and I have another couple that's gotten very close to buying their first house with me, and they started when I started.
Oh wow!
And they're not investors; they're
Yeah.
a
Well, I
couple
feel bad
trying
for them there.
trying to downsize, and everything is going wrong at the perfect time for them to go
I mean,
wrong.
I'd love to buy another one. I'm always looking.
Yeah. No, I know, and that's why I don't mind. Plus, you guys are fun to hang out with. So.
It's called a write-off right now.
Yep, there's that.
You
He
write us
says
off?
it, but I don't.
I mean, there's only one thing better than a write-off. It's keeping your money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true. I want a vanity plate that says write-off. That's going to be my next one. Write-off.
I like
Just
that.
write it off.
Someone's gonna beat you to it if you win that.
I'm sure they already
You want me
have.
to bleep it out? I don't know how
Yeah.
to do that.
I think you
Sorry.
can like look it up, right, on the website.
I think
or
you can.
something.
Yeah, you
Type
can
it in.
look
Yeah,
up.
see if it's available.
Yeah.
Available.
I asked if I could get a vanity plate on the trailer, and she looked at me because when you register it, she's like,
She's
"I'm not
dying
doing
to get
that for you."
Yeah.
Posh Potty on her license plate.
I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I said, "Oh, if we get a new truck, we'll keep the old truck and we'll wrap it in the Posh Potty.
There you go.
Oh,
Get
there
a
you go.
wrap on
Yeah.
it." She's like, "Oh God."
As long as the logo's not like a toilet, you know what I mean?
Why not?
No, you'd have to have the logo like
I know.
a fancy
Like
one,
a
like
bird's
that.
eye view
Yeah.
of the potty
Yeah.
is the two O's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a logo. So if anyone out there is listening,
Wants to logo us,
yeah.
Hmm.
but
So, what's your educational background? We'll start with Brittany.
Oh boy. So I have a master's degree in occupational therapy.
Wow,
So wow, yeah.
that's it.
All of 5 years to get
5
that.
years.
Must
That's
Yeah.
still be paying those loans.
Painful.
5 years
They're
longer
paid
than I
off.
went.
Huh?
Thank God.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
we had to pay them off
Well, yeah.
to buy the house.
That's how that works when you want to invest. They have leverage on you if you have
Yeah.
loans and things. So
yeah.
so I had to pay those off. So I've been an occupational therapist for 13 years, I think.
Wow.
13 years.
Good for you.
I do home care now, so I've been doing that for 7 years. So
Home care. What is that? So occupational is like when you're at work. Is it more home care because people are working from home now, or
yeah,
You
no,
love
No.
it. You love
that's
this.
the best part. So I feel like a cold call, like a salesman when when you call. So it's like no one knows what occupational therapy is. So
Matt still
usually
doesn't.
this is how it
He
goes.
doesn't. I explained it to him already.
Someone gets put on my schedule.
not on the air it's for our viewers?
Gotcha.
Bear with me. I host a podcast every Monday night.
I was like, why is he asking this question? I already told him before this
co-hosts the
co-
podcast.
we're on.
So I call and I say, oh, you're on my schedule today for I'm so and so, whatever. You're on my schedule for occupational therapy evaluation. Like, oh, what's occupational therapy? I'm like, it'd really
No,
be easy to
they
just
say, I already saw the PT.
yeah, I already had physical. I already had therapy. I'm like, well, I'm the other therapist. So yeah, then you have to go into what that is, and so
What is it, honey?
well, it depends what field you work in, but for me, geriatrics and home care, it's mostly what we call ADLs, activities of daily living, or IADLs, instrumental activities of daily living. So that's basically your daily routine. Can you get yourself dressed? Can you take a shower? Can you cook? Adaptive equipment, energy conservation.
Energy conservation.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
so
stick that in everywhere now.
yeah,
Can you turn a light off?
not that kind of energy.
Oh, the body.
Body energy.
Yeah.
He thinks we're going green.
What did you think it was?
Matt knew. He knew.
Yeah. he was just clever enough not to open his mouth.
Yeah,
So
drive around all day and go to people's homes, and that's interesting too. So, you see a lot of things.
making sure that they're doing their routine.
Yeah, just make
correctly.
sure they're safe. They're not going to fall. Try to prevent rehospitalization. And
So how long would you be with a client for? Is it like
depends on their diagnosis and the
average?
need. Yeah. So people are on services. Typically, their certification period, a lot of them are Medicare. So it's 60 days.
okay.
So you try to work within that 60-day period and get done what you need to get done. I mean, you can always extend it if there's a skill to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just depends. If they meet all their goals, you discharge them early, and so
So you're one of those people that are actually using your degree.
I am.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, paid off my loans, and I'm actually using my degree. So I feel.
Does that mean you're not?
Me?
Yeah.
I took architectural in high school.
Oh, there you go.
I haven't drawn anything in a while.
Oh, they're looking for a logo.
Exactly.
If you want it to look like a building,
Well,
Like, this is my stick figure building.
we're open to ideas.
Probably not his, but
so how about you, Reagan? What's your educational background?
Well, I have a degree from UConn, bachelor's degree in human development and family relations. Back before maybe you were born. I don't know.
83?
No. Okay, no. Not that old
I
yet.
was gonna say you only got me by 7 or 8 years. I thought.
Are you-
I thought we went over this.
How old are you?
41.
Oh, 9.
Yeah. So
Close. I like 7 or
we're
8.
like the same
better.
generation.
I also have a degree from Manchester Community College in occupational therapy. So that's how I met Brittany.
Okay.
So I also do what she does. However, I'm not a big fan of nursing homes and home care and
paperwork.
So I typically worked in pediatrics. I like pediatrics.
Yeah.
So working with the little ones. Actually, right now, my full-time job, I'm a nanny.
Nice.
nice.
Yeah. So I love my job. I take care of 2 little girls.
Yeah.
They're amazing. So I love doing that. And I do that because it helps me be a real estate investor. So yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there is listening, to be a professional real estate investor, you have to dedicate so much time to real estate in order to use that as your
And having
as a text. Yeah.
somewhat flexible schedule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I work for myself in that respect.
Do you bring these 2 little girls on all your house hunting?
No.
Yeah,
I,
they're on the payroll for
They're
the
on
next
payroll. No, I take care of them Monday through Friday, 9 to 3. So it gives me flexibility to do other things with the properties, mow lawns, and take care of stuff and whatever. You'd be surprised how much time it takes to just rent an apartment. Right.
Right.
All the people that you
Yeah.
gotta contact all the people.
Oh no,
It's-
I totally get it.
yeah. It doesn't seem like it
Especially-
would take that long, but it does.
No, there's a housing shortage, so you get
Oh yeah, hundreds
20,
of people on
30,
Facebook.
40, 50
Oh, easy.
just hitting you up
Yep.
constantly.
Yep. I also teach. I'm a fitness instructor. I teach at a local gym in town, so a couple
Wow.
classes a week.
What classes?
I do a circuit class, and I'll change the name. It's called Abs, and you know the name, but booty class. So yeah,
Took Kyle a while
Matt's
to
a
get
fr-
that.
Matt's a
It's a real bun burner.
there you go. So yeah, so the name of the gym is Flex Appeal in Stafford. So I teach
nice.
there a couple classes.
Flexible.
Actually,
That's
yeah.
clever.
So before I taught there, I used to teach there a while back. When I met Brittany, actually, I taught 14 classes a week.
oh
Wow.
Yeah, so where I was going to the gym or going to this workout studio, she decided to stop doing it, and I was like, oh, I'll take it over, and I took everybody and brought them to the local gym instead of renting a place, and I was teaching there that was crazy. It was 6 days a week, a 5 a.m. class and then night classes. And I don't even know how I did it. And then I worked like 32 hours a week. That's when I met her.
How does your body even handle it? I can barely
I don't
work out
even
twice a
know.
day.
Yeah.
She was pretty ripped.
Yeah, I
would
remember.
think so.
Yeah, she couldn't fit in her work shirt. She'd come to work, she'd be like swollen, and I'm like, wow, think you need to buy a bigger work shirt.
Matt needs a new work shirt, but it's for another reason.
Yeah,
pretty
so
flex.
Maybe when I come back.
You're gonna run on the beach down there.
No, when I come back, I'll
I'll start
get
your
on a
routine.
diet. I've been doing P90X every morning, but have not been dieting. I've had way too much going on.
I understand.
you were doing keto there for a while. Keto?
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
little while.
Yeah.
And then I
Fasting?
got off of that. Yep, got off of that.
It's a roller
I remember
coaster.
Tough.
we're looking at houses and doing one thing, and I feel like a little bit of time had passed, and you dropped like
30 pounds.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
20 or 30 pounds.
Was that
Yeah.
when you did keto? I thought that was fast.
I was fasting, and then I was typically only eating like
OMAD
the
once a day or
protein.
something?
Yeah, one meal a day, and then I would eat. It was actually 1,800 calories because I was counting calories. And,
That's not a lot, for a
I
guy.
have a super slow metabolism, believe it or not. So 2,100 is my maintenance with
okay.
with a hour and a half worth of P90X hit
Jesus.
training in the morning, and that's like all my body would handle without bringing the scale up. So it was at 1,800 calories, and it was by the time you get done the meat and like sprouts,
Fiber.
like some sprouts or ate a lot of chicken and broccoli, and then,
Ugh, not that
yeah.
diet. Ooh, that's rough.
So, but yeah, then you'd have like a cheat day here and there, or just like events to go to, and then vacation, and it just throw me off my schedule, and then I gained it all back. Don't worry.
I didn't notice it was gradual after the 90 houses that you showed us.
It wasn't 90 houses.
Well, it was a lot.
We're not that bad.
I know. I feel bad every time. I'm like, oh God, am I gonna buy this? Should I even? But I mean, you don't know.
Always
So,
call me. Always call
I
me.
know.
It's
Sometimes it's
never
just a quick
waste of
text. Can
time.
you send me the info on this? And then I look at it. But yeah.
And for everyone out there, my number is 860-428-6534. It's never a waste of time to talk real estate.
There you go.
Sure.
That's a good way to get that in there. So, and the other thing that I do is I'm a certified integrative nutrition, health, and wellness coach. And
That goes like hand in hand with working out.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So my focus is actually on women's health. Is what I.
What do you have
prefer.
against men?
Sorry again.
What do you have against men?
Well, Kyle, she can help you.
I can help you. Yeah, no, actually,
It's probably right up your alley.
I think men are just so easy when it comes to like losing weight, and women are way more difficult.
Neither Matt nor I are easy.
Speak for yourself. Oh wait, we're still talking about food. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Sorry. No, I've heard that like there's like husband and wife will do a challenge, a food challenge or whatever, and it's easier for the guy to lose weight.
Absolutely.
just-
If Kayla did the same thing you did, she would not have the same results.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So like her, her age is a factor. Like that's the biggest factor. The factor that she's a woman and just in general
Yeah.
is a
Yeah,
factor.
it's-
She has a cycle. So basically, I feel like that's the whole difference. Like you guys don't have a cycle. You're
He
not-
is a cycle.
Okay, fine, whatever.
The man period. Yeah.
Is it
Heard of
synced
that.
up with
It's
Kayla?
mansies.
Oh, man.
Trust me. I see him
Wow, we've-
enough. I know when
We've
it's
gone from
mansies.
number 2 talk today.
Millennia, I was just trying to be like biological here. but
Right, right.
Yeah. So I mean, it plays a big role, and I feel like we don't really know that.
Mm.
Like if we're in our 20s or early 30s, it doesn't really make that much of a difference.
Mhm.
But then once you start hitting like 35 and beyond, it does make a big difference.
The other thing I notice a lot is when I get in a good routine for taking the supplements, the like vitamin supplements, because we have such a holes in our diet
Oh,
as
yeah.
far as
Yeah.
deficiencies and whatnot.
Do you get blood
yeah.
work done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
That's-
When I'm on routine, it's worth the money to go get the. When I'm off
Yeah.
routine, I'm like, I'm not gonna go.
I don't want to know their
I don't
results.
want
It's
to
a
know the
waste of
results.
money.
But I give blood, and my iron's always super high, almost
really?
borderline that
Oh.
they won't take your blood.
Oh, you
So-
eat a lot of red meat. Though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, like that's another difference, right? Is like everybody's different. So I have low iron, but I eat a ton of red meat.
Yeah.
But my iron's super low, so I have
Gotta
to
eat the liver.
Ugh. So I get a supplement with, iron. So
Follow the Liver
know.
King. He'll teach you all about it.
the liver king is that
Yeah.
like a
That was
Yeah.
an influencer that got debunked.
Yeah.
Or he got caught fraudulently.
Yeah.
He was like, all I eat is the liver, and
yeah.
he had gained all this muscle and stuff, and it turned out he was, doing
Yeah.
steroids.
So then he went on like a natural. He just kept counting the days and working out, but his page is like crazy. Like with his whole family, they just eating raw meat the whole time. So
Raw meat.
yeah, but my wife will take. She took iron supplements, eats red meat, and still low. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
Well, women tend to be a little bit, you know what I mean? But that's the whole thing. Like everybody's different. Like
Right.
I mean, men are dropping testosterone every 15 minutes till they're like 70, or they should be anyway,
At 25, I think that starts as a name for it. That disease where you can't, you start losing muscle and testosterone. It's usually right around 25, right?
Yeah, I mean, typically a healthy man should be,
Starts a mess.
their testosterone goes in a 15-minute cycle, and they do that all the way up until till their 70s. Actually, that's why you guys can, reproduce until you're like 70. Like we can't, you know what I mean? So it's just a totally different biological system. Like men and women are just totally different.
Right.
So that's why I focus on women's health, because I feel like, of course I'm a woman. And then I feel like, men got it a little bit easier. They're not going to come to me anyway. Right?
I don't-
Like, whatever.
Might have
So
to.
you do that with like a lot of people at the gym?
No, actually, I have people that, whatever their need is and whatever. So it's like being a coach. So it's
Right.
not just about nutrition. It's about everything. So nutrition's like only one of the big factors in your lifestyle that could be affecting weight
Right.
gain.
Oh yeah, you
or-
get sleep. You have when you eat,
yeah,
what you eat.
Stress level.
stress
Yeah.
level, exercise,
Yeah.
and we're not doing any of those four things we just mentioned very well, any of us. You know what I mean? Typically. So it's
Had a
like
good solid 8 hours in last night. And that's the other thing is women need more hours of sleep is what
they
one of
actually
the
do
articles I
need more
just
time
read.
sleeping. Yeah.
It's
more.
like guys should be 8 to 9 and women are like 10 to 12.
Oh,
my
wow.
God,
Like,
jeez,
Jesus.
I didn't hear that, but
But-
yeah,
Just stop waking up my wife.
yeah. Don't wake her up.
See, I told you I need more sleep.
She loves to sleep, so that's fine.
I
You-
fight it.
You fight it. What do you mean?
I
Late
rather
nights?
be up. Yeah, I burn both ends of the candle when
No.
I
No,
can.
I, don't.
Oh, boy.
I can only burn the morning in. This is almost past my bedtime.
Oh well.
Yeah, we bust. So Kyle and I hang out with our wives together sometimes, and his wife will fall asleep. I mean, Kyle will fall asleep immediately when he hits the pillow.
Oh, yeah.
So will Kayla, my wife.
Oh, okay.
So Sarah and I have this running joke, like, oh, we'll just text and hang out and stuff, because like, especially if the TV's on, like neither one of us can fall asleep.
Oh, so the TV is really bad.
Yep,
Yeah.
It's blue
super
light.
bad.
Yeah, I have blue light glasses. I pretty much actually wear them all day because
Yeah,
working
you
with
can.
computers, and then
Oh, yeah.
wear them pretty much all night
Right.
till I go to sleep.
'Cause
And
the-
that actually has made a big difference.
Oh, I would
Yeah.
assume, because it's setting your circadian rhythm.
Right.
So natural sunlight, those rays set your circadian rhythm. So, but these are the kinds of things I would talk about as a health coach. Like just simple, like, where do we start? How about just getting some sunlight in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, just to set your circadian
Right.
rhythm so you can sleep. Like, I mean, that's difficult for some people.
Yeah,
Nobody's getting
starting-
outside.
Yeah, starting
You know?
small and yeah.
I mean,
and-
she's on a computer all day long. Like now it's a phone. They switched from a computer to a phone, but so it's amazing she can sleep actually, because
The eye strain was killing me, so that's why I got blue light glasses. But it helps immensely at night. I noticed a difference immediately. Like going on vacation, have to take them with me everywhere.
yeah. I don't have blue light glasses, but like your phone, you have a blue light thing on your phone to
Filter
block.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
so,
can turn it off. I have a Kindle that I turn it off, and
Yeah.
actually it's way better.
So I think they call it night shift. So
Hmm.
if anybody wants to switch their phone to night shift, I recommend it highly. It helps you sleep. But yeah, so those are the things I do. I was in the Air National Guard.
Oh,
Wow.
Yep.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome. Yep. And in the Air National Guard, I was part of the Force Support Squadron. So we did recreation, lodging, food, mortuary services,
oh, well.
administration type of things. That's where I got into like the fitness thing. So I became a fitness specialist, and I ran all the PT tests
Oh,
every weekend, every drill weekend
Oh.
for
so
like 4 years. I had the best job.
Yeah, I was going to say, people probably didn't like you that
Yeah,
much.
everyone says that. They're like, oh, her again. Yeah. So, yeah, I kind of missed that. It was a sweet deal. So I served my 6 and I was out. I went to school on the
GI Bill.
program, and
Nice.
the post 9/11 GI Bill paid for
Nice.
the rest of my
Wow.
other parts of my education. So that was basically free.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would recommend that to anybody. Hindsight, I would have gone into the military right out of high school. I would have got my first my first rental property, and the rest should be history after that.
There you go.
But now I'm here.
Posh Potty can take you to new heights.
I
Yeah.
know. I don't know. We're gonna
We're gonna give it a go and
We're gonna
see
give
how
it
it
a
goes.
go.
And Posh Potty is 860-310-8676. And whenever you guys want, you're more than welcome to come back.
Yeah, we'll let you know how it's going once we've
love-
delivered a few and
Yeah. Love
have
to
a few of
Yeah,
those
we'll come
under our belt.
We'll come back after.
a season or two.
Do a podcast
Yeah.
right in it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah, that would be a great idea. We could all fit in there. We'll build the handicap. one.
handicap. one.
And then we'll
there you go.
get your beers and everything, and we can just drink and go to the bathroom all right there in that handicap bathroom. We'll make some wheelchair transfers and all kinds, because we're occupational therapists, so we can help you with all the
yeah.
mobility stuff.
Jeez.
We can do slide board transfers onto the toilet for you, so you don't even have to move.
It's getting rough. You guys are such a blast. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all that and being so candid about investing. A lot of people like to hold that very tight, and it's very cool of you. Hope somebody out there got something out of it. I know I always do when I'm hanging out with you guys. So
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. It was fun.
thanks. Thanks for watching, everybody. Join us again Tuesday, October 29th. Yes, not Monday next week. We will be a little delayed, a little closer to Halloween for our Halloween special with the Brown Brothers Haunting Hour podcast. They'll be joining us again, and as will Chubby Dog Coffee's Adam Rondo's owner. So quite a few personalities next week. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully you can all tune in. As usual, buy local, hire local, dine local, volunteer local, donate local, hire the Posh Potty locally. Do your number 2s locally. Have great days, everybody.